Welcome back to the Heat Check Podcast. I am your host, Chris Patrick. It is December 2025, the last Heat Check Podcast recording of the year, and episode 45 overall. My goodness, can't believe I say it every time now, just as the numbers keep going up. But man, it is good to be back. I think we did take November off. We did October, we took September. It's been a clunky stretch for the Heat Check Podcast, but we're going to finish strong and head into 2026 strong as well. But before we get into all the topics du jour of the day, I do have to go ahead and introduce my co-host here as always. We have Jonathan Gannon's real estate agent, VSP Tallman.
What's going on, guys? Merry Christmas.
Ho, ho, ho.
Happy holidays.
Yes, sir.
Happy Hanukkah to Puka Nakua. How you guys doing?
Damn, so soon out the gate.
That's not bad. What do you mean?
No, that's pretty good. That's
Hey, that commission. That's going to be a nice check for you, Tallman.
Okay.
That's
You
good.
think
Hey,
so? Oh, he's not going anywhere, guys.
yeah, I was gonna say, is he looking? Has he asked you to start looking elsewhere yet, or is like?
I'm pretty sure you said I was Cliff Kingsbury's real estate agent too. I had this weird
just 3 short years ago.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure you used that one.
Well, it's because of your connection with Michael Bidwell, and he like recommends you to the coaches coming in.
Because wasn't he Bidwell's dog groomer at 1.2?
He might have been. That's a good one.
I don't remember.
He's had a lot of jobs.
His
man. He's well employed.
His personal airplane attendant. You know, the guy that's out on the tarmac wheeling him in
with the sticks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Tallman is truly a Renaissance man, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, he is.
You know.
And of course, the other lovely voice you hear in the second chair. It's Sherrone Moore's life coach, Michael Benjamin.
I knew it.
You had to do it.
Life
oh, man. I would say that I am failing in that aspect, but...
Well, when did you get hired? Was it before
1000%.
or after? Like, what's the timeline here? Because I just found out about your employment.
It was about 2 days before.
Oh, it's okay.
So
He was appointed by the court.
it didn't...
Appointed by the court.
It seemed like nothing stuck, unfortunately, but, you know, we
couldn't
move on.
Get through to him. Yeah,
Couldn't get through to him.
Well, man, that was pretty crazy. Obviously opened up that coaching vacancy in Michigan that caused a whole lot of pandemonium here in the Valley, as Kenny Dillingham was named as one of the top candidates or targets for that job, I guess you could say. But that was all put to rest Saturday morning. The news broke. Kenny is staying in town at ASU, was extended, got some money for his staff as well, which it was speculated that was a big part of this. So we'll get into all that here at the top. We're going to have to talk about the Arizona Cardinals, of course, and Jonathan Gannon. Kyler Murray, hot seat check-in. Hard to call it that when he's officially been benched, and now he's on boats in the middle of nowhere. Plenty to talk about there. And to round it all out, we will share our top 2025 moments, kind of go through the year in sports here in the Valley, from ASU in the Peach Bowl, Diamondbacks clunky start, Kevin Durant getting shipped out of town, and a whole lot more. We'll look back on it. But before we dive into all that, please like and subscribe right here on YouTube if you're watching the video. If you're listening to our audio-only podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere you find podcasts, make sure you're following us at AZ_VSP on Instagram, TikTok, X, pretty much anywhere social media is, Valley Sports Plug is as well. All of our links will be in the description. So, guys...
Wait, Chris, can I jump in here?
Mike, I would be offended if you didn't.
I can't be the only one that's in the festive spirit, guys. Somebody has to throw the Santa hat on.
I'll do it.
Yes, let's go. Come on, I love it.
I was downstairs. I was actually thinking. I was like, I should ask Sabrina if we have a Santa hat somewhere, because I haven't seen one. But I will gladly.
I'm gonna have to invest in like a Phoenix Suns Santa hat or something like that.
That would be pretty good.
Too.
How's this looking, guys?
Oh, dude, it
just
looks good on you.
miraculous.
Just beautiful.
Real good.
Can I still? I can still. Yeah, that works. No, I should. Hold on, I might put it over the headphones.
And then put the Santa hat on.
And
there
then
you
put
go.
the Santa hat on.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
This is what they did on the broadcast, and I was like, that looks stupid. So I can only imagine what this looks like. But hey,
No, it looks fine.
The broadcast.
No, you wear
you're
you wear it for Kenny discussions.
Yeah.
Tallman has to wear it for Cardinals discussions.
I gotta put it
I
on
like
too.
Yeah. Don't worry. I've been treating the lice for a couple days.
Oh,
now,
yeah,
so
yeah,
I
okay.
think-
You'll
I
be
think
fine.
you're
I'm glad you went there.
Yeah,
I did. Okay.
yeah, I got you. Yeah, man. But Kenny Dillingham staying in Tempe at ASU. I think it's all what we wanted, what we all were hoping for. But the road was a little shaky there for a second. Mike, did you have the terms of that deal available?
Yeah, so obviously this news broke on Saturday, which is what, December 20th. stating that Kenny has signed a new contract at Arizona State, which will average $7.5 million over the course of the deal. And I think, Tallman, you had said 5 years, right?
Yes,
In extension. And then the staff salary pool is up to $11 million, which with that number will put it near the top of the Big 12. So I know Graham Rossini was on 98.7 talking with the guys about how he couldn't go into specifics, but they were talking with Kenny. We all knew the rumors about Michigan and what was going to have to be done in order for Kenny to stay here. So it is great news, but I have some thoughts, but I don't want to dive into it just yet. I'll pass back over to you.
Oh, you don't want to dive into it just yet? Okay. All right. I mean, Tallman.
I think you're supposed to dive into it.
You need to have the floor.
He shared the numbers with us.
Big Kenny guy.
No, so I mean, obviously this was a lot of controversy throughout the week, and Kenny was being quite cryptic in some of his media availabilities and the things he was saying, and was saying he'll always consider ASU home, and like I don't know if that was not verbatim, but like basically he was saying like his heart will always be with ASU, kind of saying like I could leave, could go, I could stay, I could leave. Tallman, what does it mean to you and like ASU fans in general that he is staying here in the Valley?
Well, it's great. I mean, and you guys we also got to remember and get used to this, because as long as he's doing good at ASU, this is going to happen every single year. But it's different though this year because there's been so many, big time jobs open. But I mean, this is going to be something that's an annual occurrence where, he's going to be a suitor for a lot of these big jobs that come open. But it's great though. I mean, it's great for the Valley. I mean, like I said on the stream, it's like I'll believe it when I see it. And then him not coming out and saying he's like, just tell us you're not going to Michigan or you're not.
Yeah.
He never did that, but
would have been nice.
I mean, he's a smart dude because he was holding all the leverage. He spun it into, I don't know if he's making much more money with this new or amended contract because he was already the second highest paid coach in the Big 12. But I think it was more so for the resources, the staff support, more money for his guys, as he called the guys in the trenches, right? But it's good. It's a win for sure because you're getting the buy-in from the university into the college program, and now we don't have to worry about him going to Ann Arbor. So it's a definite win. I did not expect that or a definitive solution to come this weekend. So it's good that it came before Michigan even named their next head coach.
Yeah, and I was watching one of the national shows. I forget which one it was because out and about yesterday, and they were talking about how it gets a little complicated, the Michigan hire does, with the bowl games and Kenny Dillingham having a post-Christmas bowl game where it's like, don't expect them to potentially have a decision before that, because if Kenny did accept the Michigan job, would he still coach ASU at the bowl game, or that gets a little messy, and like I don't know if it's in Kenny's character necessarily to leave his guys high and dry like that. I think he's a guy that wants to finish what he started. I don't think a bowl game necessarily factored in him making the decision, but if Michigan did want to make a decision faster than Kenny Dillingham was ready, that could have impacted it as well. But I'm happy for him, and I think it is a net positive that he was able to leverage the situation to get him and his guys more money, kind of get some more security in the program, because I think that's, especially when you think of a recruiting standpoint, something that I would believe a lot of more so probably the role players take into account is that loyalty. They get recruited for 2-3 years by one head coach, and then they finally get there, and after their freshman year he goes and takes a job in Michigan, and you're like, well, shit, now I got to enter the transfer portal. So it's a lot better for players in that regard. I'm still not fully up to snuff on all the inner workings of the college and the mindset of a player like that. But, man, I think only good things with Kenny staying.
Well, and Chris, you're normally the one who plays devil's advocate, but I'm going to do it today.
Okay, right on.
And what I want to say is I am not in love with what's happening right now. In regard to the conversations consistently with Kenny Dillingham. And it's exactly because of what Tallman said. This is going to be a yearly occurrence if Kenny Dillingham consistently keeps ASU in the running in the Big 12, being a team that is possibly a contender for the college football playoff moving forward, because people are going to want him because they have seen the true culture change that he has, I'll say, inflicted on ASU, man. Like, it has been so overwhelmingly positive in everything that he has done for this football program. There's a reason that he was rumored to go to such a big program like Michigan. The thing that I hate is that it was basically kind of like the conversations when we did cover the Coyotes. The only thing we ever covered was, are they leaving or not? What's the number? Like, what is there ever going to be a true contract extension number that fits for Kenny to have him not ever look for other opportunities? At the end of the day, he is also a businessman, right? He's a leader of young men, but he's taking care of his own future, and those extra dollar signs can always go a long way, not only for your current wealth, but for your family's wealth in the future. So I understand what he's doing. I would do it if I was in the same predicament, right? That's not where I'm saying I hate it. I'm just saying that it's going to be consistently every single year, year in, year out, until ASU maybe wins a couple of college football playoff games, or maybe one day a national championship, to the point where he is truly cemented and becomes almost kind of like a Nick Saban guy, where he is one of the top, if not the top paid college football coach. He'll have his pick of bringing in talent, and he can really call the shots to the point where he can stay until the day that he dies if he wanted to, but until then, as great of a leader that he is, we will always continue to have these discussions. And that's why I'm more disappointed than not. And it's nobody's fault. It's nobody's, bad prerogative to go about that. It's just the world that we live in with college sports, especially in the era of NIL. So kind of sucks.
Yeah. And that's like the thing I was kind of saying, where it's like, it's something I'm not fully well versed on, the full inner workings of like the college football, and it's so much more of a bear than any professional sport, it seems like. But at the same time, with something you said, just to go a little bit back, I don't think it's necessarily fair to say he was seeking out other opportunities, or Michigan was probably more so suiting him, and because of his good performance, he's gonna have people that are calling him.
Right.
And it's kind of like they've talked about with Cattell Marte, where it's like your star players, there are people are always gonna call and be like, hey, is there a price? And you'll just be like, oh, not available, or oh, it's the sun and the moon and all the stars to get this player, and that you're never gonna get that. And it's like, oh, if someone wants to break the bank to get this guy, I guess I'll take a lion's share. But no, I think there is a lot of validity to what you said there, Mike. But I will say, the way that it could go the other way is if the sleeping giant prophecies come to fruition. I know the Millers love to talk about ASU being a potential sleeping giant, but we already saw them in the college football playoff last season. A good season this year, obviously fell a little short of expectations, but with Levitt down and a few other factors, it's tough. But one thing's for sure is these conversations aren't going to go away, but I don't know what that looks like if he does have this extension for whatever 4 or 5 years. Would he have to be bought out by another university that wants him? Say Alabama moves on from their coach, or Michigan moves on, or some other attractive job opens up?
Sorry, we're all
We're locked in on Dallas.
For context here, we're watching a football game.
Wait, did that interception get called back?
It was a defensive holding.
Oh my lord!
Yeah,
Eagles are getting a lot of breaks.
Yes, they are. It's almost like the refs are on their side, maybe.
No, you can't say that.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, geez. Okay, now I'm really sounding like Puka Nacua, right?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not 100% sure on the college contracts. Do you get bought out, or?
I mean, do college coaches
you
have
could probably
like
leave.
guaranteed contracts?
Yeah, I mean, it's
like
probably
like the way that the NFL does. And even the NFL, like say if you leave, like when Cliff Kingsbury was fired, they said, well, he just signed an extension. You're going to have to pay him for the next 4 years. But when he got his job in Washington, he was still getting part of that contract, but it's built into the newer contracts where some of the money, if not a good amount of it, comes off. I wouldn't be surprised if it was something like that in the college ranks, but
yeah,
I don't know. That's a good question. If you know it, put it in the comments.
Yeah, let us know. I'm sure that'd be a good question for the Millers. They might know the answer to that. But one thing's for sure, I do like what ASU's doing. I'm gonna watch, what is it, the Cactus Bowl? No, what is their bowl game?
The Tony the Tiger.
Oh, Tony the Tiger.
Sun Bowl.
Sun Bowl. There you go.
On
El
our
Paso.
own VSP Tallman's birthday.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, on New Year's Eve. Right?
Something to look forward to.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait.
Maybe ASU can get a win for VSP Tallman's birthday.
Beat the ACC champs, right?
Yep.
Duke
University.
Dookie. That'll be a fun game. The Devils versus the Devils.
That is right,
Battle of the
right?
Devils,
Yeah,
yeah.
Battle of the Devils.
Who is the superior devil? But guys, it's that time. We do have to talk about the Arizona Cardinals, and there's plenty for us to talk about. So buckle up. You can pause right here, get a cold beverage, get a stiff drink if you're a drinker. You're gonna need it because, man, is it just a dumpster fire in Glendale in Arizona. And Kyler Murray's on boats. Jonathan Gannon is just repeating the same nonsense week in and week out in his post game, and we've talked about this ad nauseum, but guys, it's just like every day, just the hole gets dug deeper for these guys. I think we need to start with Jonathan Gannon and his future with this team. The ice that he's skating on for me is very thin, and it's not obviously entirely his fault. I think the staff around him hasn't done him very well either, but Mike, we've talked a lot about the messaging and saying I'm sticking with the play call. I think it was a good call. I like the call. And I've heard guys like even Tim Ring on post games be like, I mean, there's one thing to be an armchair quarterback, but there's another thing to tell someone who's been watching football all their life that what they're seeing is acceptable and a good call. Like, there are just certain things that have been happening on the football field where it's like, guys, at this level, these mistakes are not something that should be happening. So, Mike, I guess we'll kick off the conversation there, no pun intended. But John Gannon, is he back next year? Let's just throw that out there.
Oh, okay. So at the end of my talking points, I'll put a percentage on if I think he's coming back or not. So I think a perfect encapsulation of what a winning franchise does, and it's not always the right situation, but you think about the Seattle Seahawks, who last year won 10 games. They said, it's not good enough. We're going to fire our offensive coordinator and go out and get a better play caller, right? Our quarterback, it's ran its course. Let's try something else new. The biggest one literally just happened after a lot of people are calling it the game of the year between the Rams and the Seahawks, who both were 11-win teams.
Great game.
Incredible down-to-the-wire overtime game that had some questionable calls. I get it. But the Rams fired their special teams coordinator, Chase Blackburn, because he has specifically contributed that side of the football to 3 of their 4 losses this year. They saw the writing on the wall. Things were not getting done, and they held people accountable. That is what this entire regime leadership right now is just not doing. And it is coming down to them basically, it seems like consistently, for as many years as Kyler Murray was given the mulligans over and over, we're still in search of that in different areas to say, we trust in our guys, but now we don't have the pieces. Okay, now we can't overcome the injuries. The San Francisco 49ers have multitude of their best defensive players out for the year and have been out consistently. You think about Joey Bosa going down in that game to us in week 3, their best defensive edge rusher. And that's another team that actually has a chance to win the number 1 seed in the NFC this year because they are structurally sound from a leadership standpoint. You can't be 15-32, possibly having the worst record in the 3rd year of a rebuild when you have truly rebuilt the players around this organization as well. But everything has been so far off of schedule at this point, and a lot of it is coming down to coaching. So my percentage at this point, and there's been more reports, I think there was a SI insider who had his own podcast that said it's sounding more and more like Jonathan Gannon will not be here because of the predicaments that this amount of losing this year and the way that they're losing to end this season, guys just don't survive that. So I say it's probably a 30% chance that Jonathan Gannon is back as head coach next year.
Wow. Ooh, 30. I'm curious what Tallman has to say.
30. Well, okay. So, I mean, you're making some good points there, Michael, but history would tell you a coach in year 3 finishing the season, potentially not winning another game. So we'd be 3-14. Your year 3, you go 3-14 in a season where you had expectations. I mean, history would tell you that, hey, he's not going to be here next year. You're cleaning house, a new regime's coming in, right? But it's the factor of it's been a funky year, right? It's the injuries are a big thing. This whole fake injury, phantom injury with Kyler Murray, the soft benching. I mean, there's a lot of if it was just Kyler Murray starting every single game and we're just not winning, then that'd be a different story. But there's I don't want to use the word excuses, right? And then of course you don't want to blame, a team's dysfunction on injuries, but it's hard not to when it's at this extent. I mean, we only have one of our day one starting offensive linemen still out there in the center with Froholt. I mean, you're on your fifth string running back. Marvin Harrison's been in and out of the lineup. Defense, it's been like, I mean, we lost majority of our secondary in the beginning of the season. Granted, they're back now. I mean, we lost Mac Wilson. That was a huge. I mean, he was the leader of that defense. That was a big one. Cody Simon's hurt. I mean, there's just a lot of injuries that go around. Specifically, though, the quarterback situation is what makes it funky. So, how much, how much do you use that to factor into your decision on should Gannon be back? How responsible is he for what this team has done? I mean, it's okay. I'm gonna have to disagree with you. So I'm gonna give a percentage because you did a percentage.
Yeah, you do a percentage. I'll do one as well.
Of the percentage of him being back next season. Goddard just scored a touchdown. Wow.
I don't like that.
You don't like that? Yeah, that does not help us.
It kind of
at
helps
all.
us, but not completely.
Yeah,
keep going.
We kind of need A.J. Brown. I'd say there's a 90% chance that he's back next year.
90%?
I'm going to go 90.
That is so insane.
And I'm going to leave the 10% because say we have an incredibly ugly loss here. Say what did we lose to Seattle that
I mean, we were down 35-0 with
No, I'm talking about several years ago that got Ken Wisenhut canned. We lost 60-3 or something.
Yeah, it's 63-7 or something like that.
Yeah, so that's what. So if there's something like that happens to end this season, I think that's going to shift it up a little bit. But I'd say 90% chance he's back because it's. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, you still owe him money. He's on a contract. You're still paying Cliff Kingsbury. I mean, we've had a track record as an organization where, I mean, we don't have a lot of long tenured coaches here. It's like, I mean, Steve Wilkes only had 1 year and he was shown the door. I mean, Cliff Kingsbury only lasted 4 or 5 years. Obviously, Arians retired.
Okay, so
we got to find something that sticks because you got to keep, you got to keep building this culture here because if we rip it all down, we're starting at the first brick and you have to build it all back up. So I think they're going to use the Kyler Murray. I've said it many times, the Kyler Murray thing as an excuse, all the injuries as an excuse. They're going to let these guys pick their next quarterback and see what they can do next season.
Yeah, I want to expand on that because I largely agree with Tallman here. I do think that it's possible in some ways that at the hiring of Gannon and Bidwell, when they were having their conversations, Gannon kind of said, I want to move off of Kyler. I think that I don't think I want to move forward with him as a franchise quarterback. And Bidwell said, well, we have this contract that's quite the albatross. You need to try and make it work for a couple years. And Gannon's like, okay, I'll give it my best shot. And he's done that. Kyler obviously was out for a large part of that. The first season of Gannon, where we had the Josh Dobbs.
Yeah, he didn't come back until like week 12.
Yeah. And so last year was like the first full season with Kyler, and it didn't really work out. And then this year, obviously, the start, and then it was just it. And so I think it's a culmination of things. There could have been that like backdoor deal where Gannon can now go to Bidwell and say, hey, I told you so. Let me have my quarterback. Give me a few more years, and I'll show you what I can do. Or it's a combination of that and, as Tallman's saying, and you're also saying, Mike, the injuries, that built-in excuse of, well, it's just been banged up, injuries, and that happens. But where I want to give you credence, Michael, is that we look back at the Bruce Arians teams and the next man up mentality, and that team having covers on Sports Illustrated about their next man up mentality, and finding these guys and the Kime Time signs. I know those were two kind of different things, but it was kind of getting the buy-in from these guys.
No, those went hand in hand because those Kime Time signings had to be the next man up mentalities. So I'm jumping in on you, Chris.
By all means.
I think I'm just looking at it, obviously, from a fan standpoint. Like, you guys are making the right conversation points in regard to paying multiple coaches, the excuses, if you want to put it, but just the true nature of how injured this team has been since basically week 10 can contribute to how awful it's gotten, right? But at the same time, like, man, yeah, we had some secondary guys go down, like Rabbit, who hasn't played, I think, in the past 4 or 5 weeks, but you still got Buddha, you still got Jalen Thompson, Will Johnson has been back in the lineup, Garrett Williams has been all systems go since his injury early to start the year, but this defense looks piss poor and absolutely is one of the worst defenses in the league at this point. I don't have the stats, but go ahead, look them up yourself. You'll start to see it, what you've seen over the past 6-7 weeks. So it's bullshit, dude. I can't stand here as a fan and sit here and say for how this has eroded so masterfully in front of our face. How could you have any faith in putting it into somebody who, down the stretch of last year, when you had basically the path, the yellow brick road to the NFC West right in front of you, and you go 2-5, and then you say, you know what, that was good enough. We'll get better next year. Run it all back. When your entire division is saying it's not good enough. And now the troubling issue for this regime right now is that all of those teams are going to get healthier next year. You're talking about all those teams being 12-win teams this year alone. And you're possibly going to have a win mandate with a rookie quarterback if you do make a move in the draft. Because you're not going to win enough games next year with Jacoby Brissett at the helm. I don't care how much of an offseason you give him. He's a backup for a reason. He is a backup. So we're in such a predicament right now because I just don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, unfortunately, for anything that in front of the Arizona Cardinals.
No, I mean it's dark, and keeping Gannon or not keeping Gannon, if you do keep him, then there is a wider conversation I think to be had about his staff. Do you also keep Petzing and Rallis, or is it like, hey, we need to change something around here?
Dude, if Drew Petzing is back as play caller next year, I will not watch a game.
Wow.
I am that.
Wow.
I am so about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that.
I just think it's shocking that there hasn't been a firing yet.
Well, that's what I'm like. It's like I feel like I'm sitting here taking crazy pills. I don't know what movie that's from, but like, come on, man.
Yeah,
if this regime is going to be intact,
though?
Tallman, if this regime is intact and they go 3-14 this year and they say, you know what, what's going to really get us moving the right way next year? Another year of continuity when everybody got worse.
Yeah,
we will continue to be the laughing stock of the NFL, which we already are. So I guess might as well just live within that mediocrity, I guess, from your standpoint.
No. I'm not saying bring everybody back. There's got to be some type of mix up. I mean, Petzing has got to go. Because, I mean, to start the season, it was like the defense was performing good, and then everyone was calling for Petzing's head. Now, recently, I mean, granted, a lot of the stats coming in offensively have been in garbage time, quote unquote, but the defense has been awful. So then now it's shifted from Petzing to Rallis. I mean, they're both in question, right? And this is a very inexperienced coaching staff, too. You got to bring in a coordinator, somebody that has some experience, man. Like I'm saying Gannon's back, but we need 2 new coordinators. So it's like somebody with experience, man. I'm not out here saying that all 3 of them are going to be back, because I don't think that's going to be the case. But I mean, we haven't seen them fire any of those coordinators yet this year. But again, what's the point of firing them when, I mean, the season's already over, right? I mean, what's the point?
Well, I will say that's kind of the last thing I wanted to touch on, because I don't necessarily disagree with you, but if you were going to do it, you should do it now, because you're already the last week shown us that the buy-in is almost completely out the window. The effort is minimal at this point, and you have the Falcons, the Rams, and the Bengals to finish out the season. At best, you're going 1-2. At best, you beat the Bengals. That's best case scenario. And if it's going to be a question of how bad are those losses. So if you already expect you're eliminated from the playoffs, and now you're basically hoping you lose for draft position. Basically, if you're going to fire a coordinator, you do it now. You do it actually 2 weeks ago, if I'm being honest.
It should have been done after the Rams game. another division loss, an absolute spanking in front of the last possible crowd that you would have in State Farm Stadium. And not only was the defense horrible that day, they gave up 5 straight scoring plays, but the offense, 5 or 6 straight possessions, was 3 and out, punt, turnover. You know, the team quit that day. When you see somebody quit like that, it's from coaching. It's not from players. It's from players not being bought into what the coaches are saying anymore. So, but you know, we have Jonathan Gannon's always going to pine for his guys. He's always going to go to bat for him. That's why we haven't seen any firings. But you know, I just worry that it's going to end up being his demise. Because down the stretch, if he doesn't truly see what is in front of him, which is a bad football team with the incorrect leaders, if you are brought back next year and you still have the majority of those same guys, your ass is on the chopping block real fast next year. And we could see a same thing with, you know, who was the Bears coach right before Ben Johnson?
Was it Eberflus?
Matt Eberflus.
Matt Eberflus, there you go.
Getting fired week 5, week 6 in between, you know, next year. So
that would be a disaster. That would be just a disaster.
I have to ask this question to Tallman. So say we beat the Falcons, right? Okay. Miraculously squeak it out, hold Bijan, whatnot. We lose to the Bengals, but then we go into week 18 and get absolutely jackhammered by the Rams, who are at that point going to have to be playing everybody because they're playing for seeding. And you lose that game 45-14. Are you still sitting in the same boat that says another year 0-6 against division opponents? Let's bring back this guy.
I mean, I mean the division record is troubling. It really is. It's rough. But yes, I don't think it changes. I think Bidwell's already made up his mind. I would say my guess would be he already knows what he's going to do, whether he's out or whether he's not. So it doesn't matter what happens unless something truly embarrassing occurs, you know. And then 45-14, I don't think that's it. I mean, if it was like 45-0 and we didn't have a lick of competitiveness in us, maybe, but I don't think it really matters what happens the rest of the season. So yes, to answer your question, yes, he would, in my mind, I'd still keep that 90% chance of him being back next season.
So, Tallman, just to I want you to double down on that statement potentially.
Sure.
You don't think there's a difference between if they go out and lose the last 3 games by 21 or more points, each of those games, or if they're competitive and they lose by 10 or less, you don't think there's a difference between them getting blown out the last 3 and them being competitive the last 3?
No, well, for the eyes,
as far as like them retaining Gannon, I guess,
optics,
in that context.
Yes, there's a big difference between it.
But do you think it changes Bidwell's decision if they go out there and get absolutely fucking jack stomped the next 3 weeks?
So,
well, we'll know by the time this comes out.
Yes,
everyone will know.
No, I think it would, and I already said that too. I said, you know, barring any type of extreme embarrassment on the football field, like I mentioned the Seattle one that canned Wisenhut. I mean, if something like that happens, and our total dysfunction is just laid out for the entire world to see.
But wasn't the Texans,
there would be some
like
change
the Texans
to it.
game was close to that, pretty close, right?
Well,
as far as like an embarrassing loss where the team showed minimal effort,
it was bad.
We were down 30-7.
Yeah, I don't see how it gets a whole lot worse than that.
Exactly. So the damage is already done, and then it goes back to that Seattle game where we're down 35-0 with like 10 minutes in
10
the
minutes left
second
in the second quarter.
Like that's as bad as it gets.
Wild.
I mean, that's impossible for a professional football team to be in that position.
And once again, we talk about what would have been the perfect times to hold people accountable and say that this is not acceptable. Firing somebody that day would have been perfect too. I think we all would have been like, okay,
that makes sense.
They truly are like, they're holding feet to the fire in there.
Leave Drew Petzing on the tarmac in Houston.
Yeah,
do not let him get on the plane.
But now it's just like that's where it comes. A lot of these discussions, and that's what we do here, is going to come from a fan standpoint. That's why I like why we have the different kind of discourses in regard to the reality. Probably would come from the Tallman side today, whereas mine is more like
to run him out of town.
Oh my God, dude, this is unacceptable at this point. And it is spoken specifically to my fandom to the point where the last game I went to was the Jaguars game where they lose at the very end once again, and I got rid of the rest of my tickets because I couldn't do it anymore.
Man,
I can't do it anymore.
I thought you guys were gonna see a win too.
I thought we would.
I was like, damn, they're gonna watch that.
We should have, and that was exciting. I remember that because of the Jaguars game, right?
Yeah,
yeah. And I remember
overtime, right?
In overtime, all we needed at that point was for Trey McBride to get a few more yards. And I looked at Mike and I was like, Trey's going to catch it on this play.
Yeah.
And then he did. And so our bet hit, we were looking up, but we should have known
the
because
bet hit,
the prophecy, Mike, we know the prophecy. The Chris Patrick prophecy is that your bet can hit, your team can win, your fantasy team can win, but you can only have two of the three at most.
Yeah,
and that's on a lucky day.
And that's on a lucky day.
Yeah. So my last point, because we got to get to the Oklahoma legend here.
Yes. Yeah.
You just have to think about some of these losses this year too, right? The first team since tracking began that has a 4 turnover differential to lose a game. The first team ever to have a 7+ point lead going into the fourth quarter and lose multiple games. The first team ever to lose on 3 straight field goal losses as time is expiring. That is draining. And all I think about when it comes to that kind of stuff is who has been at the helm this entire ride. It is Jonathan Gannon. I am tired. I cannot do it anymore. And we will always go back to this is 2022 all over again, guys, because the expectations of where this team was heading have deteriorated in such incredible fashion to the point where Cliff Kingsbury was given an extension the year before and then fired. Chris, you always said, we never in a million years thought that Jonathan Gannon would be on the chopping block, and now 90% of the fan base, there's your percentage, wants his ass gone.
Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy.
We always sit here and we're like, the national media doesn't know anything about what's going on in Arizona. They're so stupid. Jonathan Gannon is so safe. At the beginning of the year, when there's multiple outlets saying Jonathan Gannon's on hot seat watch at the beginning of the season, and we're laughing at it. And now here we are in December, not honestly earlier than that, probably back in November, late October, we were like, oh boy, this is not looking good at all. It's lack of words to describe this situation, and crazy is the only thing I can say is wow. But it's twofold, right? Because maybe even threefold. You're looking at the coaching. You're looking at I think we talked about on the last the very last round table ever. We talked about Monti Ossenfort probably deserving some of the blame here as well.
That's where I was gonna go.
And I think that's something. Hey, Tallman, actually, before because we're gonna move on to Kyler here, but if you have something to say about Ossenfort real quick, I want to give you that.
Yeah. So it's everything should be under review, and I'm with you, Mike. I feel the same passion you do, where it's come on, guys, this is unacceptable, right? I mean, it's you pull up the standings, we're at the bottom barrel of the league. This is not where we're supposed to be, right? And then, as I said, everything should be under review, including, personnel, who's making those decisions. I mean, we come into the season where it's okay, all free agency, we spent all this money on defense, did zero on offense, and then now Mike already uttered the phrase that we're probably the worst defense in the league. What the fuck?
Yeah, that was our saving grace.
Was that the first cuss word? I'm sorry.
No, I had a
you said one.
there.
You said fuck. Okay.
Yeah,
all
that's
right.
way
Anyway,
too late if it's the first cuss.
Yeah.
Word.
Okay.
You gotta. Those are rookie numbers.
It was the first one. I think it was the first one I said. But anyway, I mean, you look back at. So I had to pull up our draft history. So 2023 was his first year, right? So
yep.
You hit on Paris Johnson, right? But that's a no-brainer. I mean, but that was that same draft where we could have taken Will Anderson. We saw what Will Anderson did to the Cardinals, who was on the Texans. I mean, I don't know. But B.J. Ojulari, what happened to him?
He's a ghost.
Garrett Williams, Michael Wilson. Okay, not bad. Okay, but then you go to the next season after that. Marvin Harrison, is the jury still out on him? Absolutely, I would say. Darius Robinson, bust, absolute bust. He hasn't done a single thing at all.
No.
I mean, besides get injured, but besides use up or waste all the doctor's time. Like I don't know what the hell. He hasn't done anything on a football field. Max Melton, I don't know. Trey Benson, I don't think so. Isaiah Adams, he can barely play football. Tip Ryman, poor guy, he got hurt, but does he move the needle? Not really.
He's a blocking tight end.
Yeah, well, exactly. He's still a third-round pick,
expect?
Michael.
Yeah.
He's still a third-round pick.
Well, that's why it's like, and you guys are ready to say, let's bring him on back. Come on, man. This is a
I was
joke at
talking
this
about
point.
Jonathan Gannon, okay?
Max Melton has been benched, guys. It is the exact same thing as Kyler Murray. This is the year of the heel. Like, holy shit. I need to see these. It's like the Epstein files at this point. I need to see these X-rays of these heels that are keeping guys out for 3 months.
Yeah,
it's insane.
It's pathetic. You would wish that we could just be like the Dolphins and come out and say, yeah, Tua's benched. Can we just come out and say, yeah, Kyler Murray's benched? I don't give a
Kyler
fuck
sucks.
what he wants, or we're not trying to give him a soft landing somewhere else or a soft exit. He's benched. We're starting our backup quarterback over the guy that we're paying $40 million or whatever. Hell yeah, Saquon touchdown. Of course, as we know, this past season, Walter Nolan, he was a flash in the pan. The dude can't stay healthy, right?
Yep.
Will Johnson, he was hurt for a lot. He came out the gates real hot too.
He's looked bad the past couple weeks.
Yeah, he hasn't been great. Jordan Birch, where has he been? Cody Simon, he just got hurt. So it's like, I don't know. You look around the rest of the league, and you see these guys you see these teams getting production from these guys that they drafted in the first round. Well, and then how come we in Arizona can't get production out of people we draft in the first round? It's like, it's just not allowed.
And I don't know if I said it on the last roundtable, but you don't even have to look around the rest of the league. Look in the NFC West. Puka Nacua and Jackson Smith and Jigba.
say it again.
Jesus, that's such a hard name. Jackson
NSN?
Smith and Jigba.
JSN.
He said and Jigba.
They might be top 3 receivers in the NFL already.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I would go to bat to say Puka's the best in the league right now.
He did so good that they
1,000%.
just got rid of Cooper Kupp and basically phased him out so fast. Like,
yeah.
Jared Verse has become one of the most dependable pass rushers in the league in year 2.
He's a stud.
Already.
Yeah.
And made a huge key play in their playoff win last year. Where is that? Where is that from anyone?
He won Rookie Defensive Player of the Year, right?
Where is that from anybody?
Yeah, and he was a late first-round pick.
yeah.
So it's
Anyway, so
yeah.
I think everybody should be under the microscope, but
I don't think anyone would disagree with that. I never actually gave my Jonathan Gannon percentage. Mike, you said
you didn't.
You said 30.
I said 90.
Mike said 30. You said 90.
And
Yeah.
Mike did not like my 90.
So I wanted to go somewhere in the middle, but I think it's a little higher than 60. I think there's like a 70% chance John Gannon comes back next year.
that.
Just because of all if we're looking at a I don't want to say logical, but if we're taking our fan emotion out of it and trying to put ourselves in the fucked up brain of Michael Bidwell, I just think he's looking at it and he doesn't.
He's a billionaire, Chris.
He's going to give him another chance.
He doesn't think like we do.
Is he?
That's
Are you
true.
sure
I can't even
he's
begin
billionaire?
to.
Oh, wait, no,
He
the team. The team is
The
over
team
a
is
billion.
because that's the thing with all these billionaires. It's not like
Maybe-
they have $1 billion in their bank
It's not
account.
fluid.
It's all their
yeah,
just value of the shit.
Exactly.
They own.
It's his assets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid. Anyway, let's talk about Kyler Murray, shall we? We started out this year doing the Kyler Murray hot seat check-in. But of course, after the Titans game, that kind of became null and void, and there was really no hot seat to check in on because he had effectively been benched. And they came out with the excuse of what would they call it, Mike? The Liz Frank injury, and he had to work.
Frank.
And then when he was on IR and then eligible to come back to practice, and I think he did come back to practice, right? And Jonathan Gannon was like, he's not ready. He's got to work on his health bucket. He's not quite there yet. But he would never come out and say there's been a setback or he's not progressing. And then eventually it just came out that Kyler Murray shut down for the season, and we got Jacoby Brissett. So I know we went pretty long there on Gannon, and he plays a big part in this. But I did say a bit ago it's threefold, and I think the third fold of that is Kyler Murray here and his poor performance. And yeah, as far as statistics-wise, Jacoby Brissett has looked a lot better, but it hasn't really translated to winning games. Yes, we had the one against the Cowboys, but that's not exactly a feather in the cap that anyone's gonna, hang their hat on or anything. For if I could squeeze more idioms in here, I will. But Kyler Murray in general, I think it's been a consensus that not only has he been benched this season, but he's done as an Arizona Cardinal. And it's crazy that all three of us were in attendance for potentially his very last game as a Cardinal and that Titans game. We're going to get into our top 2025 moments here in a bit, but I think that's definitely got to be one of them, man. And I guess to kick off this conversation with the Kyler Murray thing, is really just what do the Cardinals do here? I know they're going to obviously try and trade him, potentially having to eat a portion of that salary. But I think a lot of teams, knowing the situation the Cardinals are in, are going to be expecting him to just get cut outright if nobody will be a willing trade partner. And there's plenty of teams that I think will throw a little bit of money at him to get his services for a year. So like I said, to kick it off, I don't know who wants to take it first. Let's throw it to Tallman.
Lucky me.
If they can trade him, do you think there's going to be an opportunity for that?
No. I mean, come on. I mean, it couldn't be more clear from the outside looking in that Kyler Murray is done as an Arizona Cardinal, as you already mentioned. So unless you're a team that really needs or really wants to bring him in, and you're worried about, a bidding war if he was cut, and he's able to, pick where he goes, but why would anyone trade for that contract? I think it starts with that and it stops with that. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. So obviously you're going to shop him around, see if anyone's going to trade for him. But no, everyone can see that Cardinals are done. They're moving on, and they're most likely just going to cut him and, eat that dead money on the cap. So as much as I'd wish that we could get some type of, compensation for him, because it's going to hurt, because obviously the dead money is going to hurt the team in the long run a little bit, but it's the right thing to do. And some of these stuff you see on social media, like, oh, the Cardinals should trade Kyler Murray and 4 first-round picks for Joe Burrow, or they should trade Kyler Murray for Tua straight up with the Dolphins. Like, Tua makes way too much money, but hey, that would work on paper because they both make a lot of money. But why the hell would you want to bring in Tua? And it'd be he's in the same situation as Kyler. I think what you got to do, or what the team's got to do, you're gonna probably end up cutting him. You're gonna say so long, whatever, best of luck on your next journey here. But then you got to draft a quarterback. I'm not saying, trade up, trade everything to go up and get Mendoza. I mean, we've talked about it multiple times here on the streams and whatnot about it not being a strong quarterback class, but pick one of those guys later in third round, fourth round. You got to bring in a new body in here in quarterback. And then you got Jacoby under contract for next season. You roll out Jacoby day one starter. You got some young kid coming in, learning after him. And if it's not going well, we're going to see the young kids come in. Maybe you sign somebody in free agent, you sign a veteran, but then we got to draft that offensive line too. So as much as it's not sexy, it's not fun, but our first round pick's probably going to be an offensive lineman, and we really need it. And then you got to fill in the holes. You got to spend the money. You got to buy an offensive line, draft a quarterback, sign a veteran. But I think we're staring at Jacoby Brissett being our day one starter in the 2026 season, which is not super exciting. But I mean, hey, I remember we were on our way to the Cardinals game, Mike, the 49ers won, and we went to Lucky Lou's before. We had, had some food and some drinks and shit. And I remember saying to you, I said, I just can't wait to see somebody new. Somebody not named Kyler Murray, somebody not named Jacoby Brissett, just to see somebody new, like, hey, this is our dude now, and this is who we're going to roll with. But it's, again, like I said, we gotta bring some new people in here. So that starts with the draft, starts with free agency, and let's spend some money on the offensive side of the ball, right? Like, why not? And I will eat my words. Hand up. It's a hand up moment. Michael Wilson is an absolute stud.
Let's go.
There it is.
And it's like, what, are you going to roll? Is he your number 2 receiver, right? He's starting to look like the number 1 receiver. Maybe Harrison's got to take a backseat to him. But let's see some exciting signings here by this team. some exciting draft picks. Let's go for it. Let's switch it up, because you got to give this fan base some type of reason to buy season tickets, to go to the game, and some hope to still believe in that this organization's trying to win, which it's good. Like, it's good. It's going to look a lot different next year. And, that keeps you optimistic, because you never know, right? Because it's a league where you can go from worst to first. It doesn't take 3, 4, 5 years to rebuild. This isn't the MLB. Like, we can actually do this, right? But we got to get the right people in the door.
No, 100%. And I mean, I think that works really well if you give the people something to be optimistic for. And if you roll out there with Kyler and John Gannon again next year, there is just like going to be no energy for this team and what's happening in the Valley. But you look at what the Suns are doing, and yeah, everyone had low expectations going into this year, but they're surprising a lot of people, and they're not even at full strength yet. Once they get Jalen Green in the mix, you never know. I do agree with you. Like, if we looks like we're going to roll out Jacoby Brissett next year, and that's not an answer long term. It's barely been a stopgap this year. I'll keep saying the offense looks better, but we're not winning games. So, Jacoby Brissett is a good backup where, in theory, he can come in and win you a few games if your starting quarterback's injured, but he hasn't even done that this year. I just worry that we could end up in a bit of a cycle for a couple years like we were in pre-Kyler Murray, where we had the Josh Rosen and the Colt McCoys and these kind of guys kind of filling in, and it might be a little bit of a stumble out the gate thing, but eventually I agree with you, Tom, and I am excited to see who the next quarterback is, franchise, quote unquote franchise quarterback, because whether you think he deserves that label or not, that's who Kyler Murray has been for us. Mike, I mean, I'll throw it over to you here. You see the Kyler Murray boat pictures on Instagram. He's no longer with the team. He's on the sideline of Oklahoma, Alabama. He's done.
I think I'm finally ready to put my Kyler Murray hot seat number up to 10, guys. No, it's been over for a while, and
I think the seat has melted.
Yeah.
There's no seat anymore.
There's no seat. Yeah. It has disintegrated.
And it's just great, right? One of our top memories of this year, which we're going to get into, was being able to watch the lasting image of Kyler Murray being a ball snapped off of his face. So it's, going back to the Instagram stuff, Chris, it does bring into question, like, is he truly even around the team on a consistent basis anymore? Like, is he at practices at all? Like, what is he doing now? But I will say, I did see a post, how these athletes will always do kind of like a post of their lives where they have different, like 10 different pictures of day-to-day stuff that's going on. On December 3rd, Kyler Murray posted a picture of him on an airplane wearing a Los Angeles Dodgers jersey. You are dead to me. You are dead to me.
Whoa.
You're dead to the Valley. Those are unforgivable sins. Okay, I'm going a little bit too far, right? But that's.
I didn't know about that though.
Anything Los Angeles is always just a death sentence in regard to if you're especially one of our like faces of the Valley. If you start to wear those things, even if you're just trying to get a fit off, as they call it, bad optics. But we're also talking about a guy who was wearing a Michael Vick jersey, hanging out with his pit bull. So, I don't think he really cares about optics as much. But
Yeah.
Overall, I echo so many of the same sentiments as you guys. It's been a very long 7 years. And as I talked about being tired of the mismanagement of this franchise and leadership from a standpoint of Jonathan Gannon, I couldn't be more tired of having to talk about Kyler Murray and if he's the guy or not anymore.
Yeah.
It's time to put this to bed. Like, I don't know, can we make a pact? Can we not talk about Kyler Murray until he is either traded or cut and gone from this franchise? Because
it's going to be hard to do, Mike.
Truly had enough of it.
It's going to be hard to do.
Yeah.
But why do we need to talk about him when we already know he is not going to be a part of this future?
Yeah, I agree with you, Mike. There's not really going to be, especially for the rest of this actual playing season, there's not going to be a reason to bring his name up again. And yeah, it won't need to be until the off season when we're looking at if he'll be traded or if he'll be cut. As far as the off season timeline, will that happen? That'll happen before the draft, right? Free agency and everything is before the.
Yeah, when does the league year start?
Or is it the other way around? It might be the other way around.
I don't know, because I'm not I don't have memorized kind of the terms of his deal, because there's a certain date where a certain part of his yearly contract would become guaranteed, right?
So they have to cut him by a certain period of time.
Yeah, I don't know if it's not the June 1st shit. What is it? Here, I'll look at something real quick.
So, do you guys want me to put on my my soothsayer cap or look into the future of my crystal ball?
Yeah.
So, watch what happens. And we are taping this beforehand. Watch Kirk Cousins have a monster game against the Cardinals.
Well, everyone is.
With Michael. Damn you, Tallman. You're so
Sorry.
right. He's the true soothsayer. Watch Kirk Cousins have a really good game, and then they say, you know what? I wonder if we can have a renaissance with Kirk Cousins. And the Cardinals trade Kyler Murray to Atlanta for Kirk Cousins because those contracts are kind of similar. And Atlanta's going to be in a kind of a flux situation as well, because Penix is out for probably the majority, if not all, of next year too, right? Or look into the crystal ball once again. Matthew Stafford takes the Rams to a Super Bowl championship this year and retires. And Kyler Murray signs to the Los Angeles Rams for pennies on the dollar because he has to be cut by the Arizona Cardinals. So he gets his full contract paid out. Yep. And then the Rams aren't going to have to pay him $40 million a year. They'll take a chance on him for like 20 mil. And then he goes to LA and plays in a system that puts
he'll get 20
the thing around him. Kyler Murray is still like, people are going to kick the tires on Kyler Murray.
He'll get a chance.
The Jets,
1,000%.
You know, the Cleveland Browns. Like, there are quarterback hungry franchises that have been hungry for a decade that will look at him and say, "Hey, maybe the fresh start is what he needs. So bring him on in here," because he still technically is a starting quarterback caliber kind of guy. But
yeah, so I
wouldn't be surprised. I just wouldn't be surprised if somehow he finds himself back in the NFC West somehow.
So it will be March is the deadline. So but in March, $19.5 million for 2027 will become fully guaranteed. So if you're going to cut him, it's going to happen before then. Yeah. And then that's free agency is before the draft. It's in March. It starts next year. It starts March 11th. So
we'll have
we're gonna know.
We'll have some answers here
in the next couple months.
Later.
Yeah, something's gonna happen.
So yeah, Mike, I guess to go back to what you said there, like, I think we can get through January and maybe most of February without talking about Kyler Murray again. We'll have to do our Super Bowl predictions. We'll have to reflect on how horrendously incorrect our season predictions were for the Cardinals. But yeah, I think for this podcast and for the foreseeable future, let's be done talking about Kyler Murray and round this 45th episode of the Heat Check podcast out, reflecting on the top moments of 2025 for the Valley and sports here in the Valley. Guys, man, it was more or less a lackluster year, I'd have to say.
For Arizona, yeah.
I'm gonna be working on my mental health bucket in 2026. How about that?
Whole lot of buckets need to be filled.
Aren't you a life coach, Mike? You should already. You should. Be
I need to look
good.
in the mirror about my coaching style.
The life coach has a life coach, or needs a life coach, maybe. No, but I mean, it was funny. We were kind of starting to spit out, a list of some of the things that happened this year, and Tallman's like, "Wait, I thought this was supposed to be a list of positive things," and it's like
there would be no list.
There would be no list. It'd be like, have a good night.
It'd be like January 1st, ASU in the Peach Bowl. That's it, guys.
Yeah, and it's funny, like, that is a positive that they were in the college football playoff, were competitive in that game, but they still lost.
So technically, it is a little negative too,
a little bit. But I think that's one of the ones I was going to throw out. Another one I threw out was the Diamondbacks' rough start to their season and the clunky decisioning in Corbin Burns or Zach Gallen, and they ended up going with Zach Gallen, which pushed Corbin Burns' start because he's such a weird particular guy that his timing or whatever. Obviously, we moved on from Kevin Durant. We moved on from Bradley Beal. Man, I mean, guys, do you want to just start at the top, ASU at the Peach Bowl?
Hell yeah.
Let's do it.
Cam Skattebo's true coming out party on a national stage. And he has taken over New York by storm. And unfortunately, he did have that kind of gruesome injury.
It was
but,
really bad.
That puts all of these talking points that we've had about Kenny Dillingham and, over this entire year too, with Sam Levitt and Jordan Tyson showing that they could be NFL caliber players and, being groomed by Kenny Dillingham. That was truly the jumping off point to the nation about where ASU is hopefully going. And obviously, I don't think for this past season, which is going to be ending up pretty soon here with that Sun Bowl game, but man, what is the one standpoint, like what is the one play that really truly sticks out to you guys from that Peach Bowl?
Was it when Cam threw the touchdown?
That was a good one.
Hey, he threw a touchdown.
Well, it was probably
right?
Well, I thought that was the Big 12 championship. I might be wrong.
Oh, shit, you might. See, okay.
He had a really long
maybe.
catch. He had like a 60-yard catch.
Don't listen to me.
I think of Cam throwing up on the sideline because he was literally giving his all. But it has to be the targeting non-call, right?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
The not targeting call, yeah.
That was big.
And like nationally,
we would have won the game.
Yeah.
Everyone was, because you compared it to because it was even, there was a player on ASU who had targeting called on him in the Big 12 championship, which impacted his availability for that Peach Bowl game where he wasn't allowed to play in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like basically pretty close to the same. And so you're saying one is targeting and the other isn't.
Yeah.
That was it was a deciding play, honestly, because that would have put us in field goal range to tie it, maybe.
Yeah, it's a year ago. It's okay. We don't fucking remember. All right.
It was literally almost exactly a year ago.
Cam Skattebo did have a 42-yard pass
in the Peach Bowl.
Yes.
Okay.
And then in overtime, bringing too many guys, not having over-the-top coverage for
the golden touchdown.
Touchdown, which we saw the same thing happen at was it Texas A&M? No. This season.
Oh,
was it Texas A&M?
We didn't play Texas A&M.
We didn't play A&M this year.
Who
Texas Tech, maybe?
No.
No, we won that game.
Are you sure?
Me.
The one that had all the cowbells.
Oh,
Mississippi State. Yeah,
that's right.
Okay.
When we had kicked the field goal with like 30 seconds left, and then we gave up that huge touchdown because we blitzed too many guys that didn't have coverage. We left them in one-on-one. But no, that was a great start to the year.
It was. Can I read Cam's stat line?
Yes, please.
All right. So 30 carries for 143 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. He had 8 receptions for 99 yards, and then he had, of course, 1 pass attempt, 1 completion, 42 yards, and a passing touchdown. So that's just incredible. On the national stage, too.
So that was a great start to the year, Chris. But, yeah, I don't know how the rest of it went for Arizona sports, unfortunately. Can we talk? So I know you brought up the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
You know how we talked about the NFL. This was the year of the ACL. For the Diamondbacks, it was the year of the Tommy John, right?
It was, yeah. Justin Martinez went down with it.
AJ
Corbin
Puck.
Burns, AJ Puck.
Bunch of other people.
I think, AJ Puck, I'm sorry. You did mention that.
Those were the main guys.
Those were the big guys.
Yeah.
And then obviously there was just a slew of other, issues that this team encountered. But, man, I mean, I think just the bad juju from the start with Corbin. Everyone knew Corbin Burns should have been the starter. I know you have the loyalty to Zach Gallen because he had been here, but then you go on to see, obviously we couldn't have known at the time, but Gallen had a terrible start to the season, like absolutely god-awful.
It's brutal.
To where like there was almost zero interest in bringing him back next year, at least at the money he would be probably asking for.
He was so bad we couldn't even trade him at the deadline.
Yeah, that's another top moment, the fire sale that the Diamondbacks had at the deadline. We shipped out Naylor, Suarez, Kelly.
That hurt.
And yeah, that was rough because like those were a lot of fan favorites too. Like I really liked Josh Naylor. And honestly, like Suarez was raking. I was never fully sold on him because of the inconsistency, but like he started the season really hot.
Hotter than hot.
Yeah, I liked Randall Grichuk too.
And
that was
Grichuk,
another guy that was
they
moved.
shipped him out.
But there were some positives for sure. I think the biggest positive had to be the emergence of Geraldo Perdomo.
Oh yeah,
A lot of people talking about him.
He got MVP votes too.
And
he was an all-star with our boy Ketel Marte.
A guy who had consistently in his time in the majors hit in the 8 or 9 hole to have 100 RBIs on the season.
It's insane.
Just ridiculous, man. And then I think the other big bright spot for me.
We secured him up too. We gave him that contract extension.
That's true.
Yep. Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
I would say the other big bright spot for me would be Ryan Nelson being put into the position of him having to come off the bench to start, or out of the bullpen to start this season, to then obviously with all the injuries having to be inserted into the starting lineup where a lot of us thought he should have already been, him excelling once again and really capitalizing on his great year that he had last year.
Yeah.
So I'm excited and hopeful for him this year too, and some of those younger guys to take some steps. But the Diamondbacks season, once again, falls flat of expectations. It's kind of a theme this year.
Well, yeah, and that's another headline. Like you guys kind of remind me of the whole Ketel Marte All-Star Weekend fiasco, where he had his house burglarized and then goes to the Dominican Republic, doesn't tell the team, doesn't rejoin them after the All-Star break, misses the entire series, which I think we swept that series.
We did. I forgot who we played.
But then that's when all the new, I think the Cardinals or maybe
was it someone like St. Louis sounds right. Yeah.
But it ruffled the cracks started to be shown, and I think the big news story was that it was something that had been contained for a long time within the organization, that Ketel Marte is soft and he needs to be coddled and treated differently, and he's kind of an emotional guy. And we also saw it this year when a fan said something about his deceased mother, which obviously you should never say anything about someone's deceased mother.
That makes sense.
Really, you shouldn't speak on anyone else's family, period. But all that aside, like, it just showed overall that Ketel Marte, I don't want to say soft in like a derogatory way, but he's just like you need to kind of have a gentle approach towards him. But also,
that's not his fault though. That's the coaching staff allowing that.
Yeah,
shit to
and
happen.
I think that's part of the whole news story. Is,
yeah.
The organization had ran cover for him for so long and allowed him to do this to where finally
his teammates were like, "What the hell?"
Exactly.
Well, Perdomo stepping up.
Oh, he's snatching the mic from Torey Lovello.
That was great.
Yeah,
too.
that was in the post game conference.
And so that's got to be another factor that I think it would be tough when half the clubhouse is like, "Yo, what the fuck? Where's Ketel?" And then the other half is like, "Hey, man, take it easy on Ketel."
Yeah, it's like our season's on the line. Yeah, we swept that weekend series, but like, dude, your best player doesn't show up when we're literally on the cusp of either being sellers or buyers. Like, it was pathetic, dude.
Well, and then didn't he come back into the lineup when we lost like 5 out of 6?
We did, yeah, I think so.
So, momentum,
I think we went
is a real thing in sports, man.
We lost to the White Sox. Lost a series to the White Sox, I think, and that just like killed everybody.
Well, and I think some of the writing had been on the wall from
because we trade Naylor. We trade Naylor early, like 10 days before the deadline.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
when I was
like,
like,
pretty far in advance.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, like the sell off was tough, and like now Ketel Marte is in a lot of trade speculation, and people are expecting that it's possible the Diamondbacks could move off of him. But it's a weird situation because he has a very friendly contract. He is a perennial all-star, like talked about as maybe the second, or not the second, but the best second baseman in the entire league. So what do you do? I think it just depends on what the Diamondbacks' expectations are for this season and going forward. I would hope that their expectation is to make the playoffs, but the way the roster kind of is right now, I just don't know. And you're not going to have Burns for most of the year, but as far as speculating about the future and while we're looking back at the past, we have to talk about the Phoenix Suns.
Oh, man.
Ooh, man, the end of their season, just a shit show. You missed the playoffs at a team that was billed as a contender with the big three and Brad Beal, Devin Booker, Kevin
Durant. $1 billion team.
The billion, such a disgusting payroll for this team. Luxury tax out the ass. And just Bradley Beal never played. Kevin Durant was in and out and inconsistent. And there was just, like, to say zero chemistry is almost like not telling the whole story. Like, team seemed checked out, not interested. Anyway, they missed the playoffs. And then the fallout ensues. And Kevin Durant is traded to Houston. I think that happened first. And then Bradley Beal is bought out and re-signed with the Clippers. That's interesting.
I think we lost our bet.
Oh yeah, we did.
You don't think AJ Brown's gonna get a touchdown with a minute 10 seconds left? With
Dude, they're gonna kneel it out. What are you talking
I know
about?
they are.
I know.
But yeah. So 2025 moment: Phoenix Suns implosion and rebirth.
Yes. So I think a big overall thing about everything in Arizona sports this year has just been. You could call it the year of the coaches too, right? Because Mike Budenholzer was hated in that locker room and just seemed like staffers in general. They did not coexist very well. They did not. I mean, remember Mike Budenholzer was basically telling Devin Booker to stop talking and stop being a leader.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of crazy how that imploded, leading to what we like as a hire so far in Jordan Ott. It's still, very young, but we're excited about how the Phoenix Suns have been playing so far in 2025, 2026, with some key pieces yet to come back from injury too. But, talk about the Diamondbacks. We were about to say it's time for finally the end of the era for Torey Lovullo. And what does he do? Basically goes 700 down the stretch, winning percentage, and secures himself to the end of this contract, at least through this year. Even back after ASU went to the Peach Bowl, Kenny Dillingham had to have his contract restructured then too, to stay here in Arizona State.
Yeah.
And then now we're having the conversations about Jonathan Gannon. So it's literally just been the influx of, our coach is going to stay or not this entire year. Everybody, we've talked about every single coach as possibly not coming back this year. So it's been kind of crazy. But the Suns, man, I'll touch on specific moments. How about that for the Phoenix Suns this year that were really keen in my eye. The first one I will say was the first time that I've actually been able to see one of my teams outside of Arizona. So my fiance and I went to go see her nephew in Houston, and the Suns were there when we were there. So that was an awesome experience to be able to experience your own team outside of Phoenix, right? Because I've been to, oh my God, what's it called now? Mortgage Matchup Center so many times at this point. To see them outside and to see a good presence for Phoenix Suns fans in Houston at that point was super cool too. But then the other one, that, Chris, I think, and it's pretty recent, specifically for the Phoenix Suns, was seeing the majestic end to Bradley Beal coming back to the Valley, having possibly one of his worst games that he's had over the past 4 or 5 years, and then having an injury and being out for the rest of this year. And probably he will never be the same.
No.
But I don't know. Is it the end of Bradley Beal in the NBA?
I think so, dude. I can't imagine
hip injury, right?
Yeah, bro. He had a hip surgery.
He's done.
And with all the other injuries he's had in his career, I can't imagine another team even
he's done
having any desire to sign him.
Talk about a dump. At least we're not LA Clippers fans, dude.
Oh man,
talk about
Clippers.
A dumpster fire. Wow,
that is bar none like the worst situation in the league right now. But yeah, like you mentioned, the hiring I think was great. Also, Brian Gregory to be determined on both of those. But it is like the year of like the Michigan connections. Like the state of Michigan and Arizona seem to be just like hand in hand, and it's weird because you have obviously Matt Ishbia, a big Michigan guy, but correct me if I'm wrong here, but Gregory and Ott both have Michigan connections. I think Michigan State and Michigan respectively.
No, they were both Michigan.
They were
State.
both Michigan State.
Yeah.
Okay, State. Yeah. But regardless, obviously.
Well, you could say, I mean, that's a good one too. Like, this is a smaller one, probably one that Tallman doesn't know. Devin Booker is a big Michigan guy. He grew up in Michigan. And he has.
I knew that.
But I'm going to get to it.
Okay.
You're not going to know about it. I guarantee it. Every time he goes to Detroit, the Tigers treat him really well. They kind of put him out there. He's on their social media pages, and they have a good relationship. He's a good friend of Tarek Skubal, who I don't know. I said it on the last stream that he was out front on the streets in front of Chase Field, tossing the ball around. But Devin Booker had some Nike Blazers come out with Detroit Tigers logos on them just a couple weeks ago. So the Michigan-Arizona connection this year has truly been something crazy too.
It's weird. It's weird how it works, man. And I don't know. There's always those connections. Like we were really big trade partners with the Hornets multiple times. Yeah. The Suns were
both of our centers.
Yeah, and it's weird how that stuff works. So I don't know. I mean, it's just the way stuff goes. But guys, I mean, 2025, like I said, uneventful in the Valley. Really. For the Cardinals, we really talked about their whole situation at nauseum and the whole year broadly. So there's not much to say there as far as 2025 moments. But yeah, obviously the Kyler Murray decline and the Michael Wilson breakout emergence, I think, was the biggest thing, right?
Yeah, it was.
I'm Michael Wilson for the car dealership, and
in my Honda Accord.
Oh, it is Honda.
I'm on my way to practice in my Honda Accord.
Chris,
It gets me there good.
so we don't the season bet between Tallman and I for Bengals Cardinals wins has not been decided yet. But he did already tell me that it is going to be a Michael Wilson jersey that I will be buying for him.
I did not say that.
That's awesome.
That's how much he's come around.
I did not say
I love that. It's either that or Jacoby Brissett. It's got to be, right?
I don't want a brisket jersey.
No, he said it was either that or Darius Robinson because he has a lot of faith.
DR. Yeah, I like it. It. Well, that bet, I mean, to be determined, man. I mean, if it finishes in a tie, which I think is still possible.
Well, you need what'd be cool, this would be exciting, if the Cardinals beat the Falcons.
And it comes down to the last week.
The Bengals lose, and then they come in head-to-head with the same record.
That'd be interesting.
That would be interesting.
That'd be very interesting.
And then that might be, the decider right there. So.
That would be because the Cardinals are going to
We're going to lose.
Jackhammered.
Week
18 by the Rams. So
exciting. Well, I think this is the last you will see of Valley Sports Plug in 2025. I do believe. I don't think we have any other streams planned for the last 2 weeks. Might surprise you with something, but don't expect anything. Like I said, follow us on all the social medias. Links are available in the description, and you can find out when we go live, and we are going to be back and better than ever in 2026. But fellas, before we get out of here, as always, I want to give you each the floor one last time to share your thoughts. And now your last thoughts, not only for the pod, but for 2025 more broadly. So Mike, let's kick it off with you, bud.
Yeah, I will say, don't expect any live streams. We're not live streaming. We're going to enjoy the holidays with our loved ones.
And you should too.
You should too. But
Absolutely.
you could get surprised by another video either than this one. So just keep an eye out to our YouTube channel. But I mean, I think I said it on the live stream last week, guys, that I still have so much fun doing this with you guys. And the time is flying when you're having fun. We've been doing this for over 3.5 years, and Valley Sports Plug might look a little different in 2026. We're going to continue to throw some wrinkles there and whatnot, but Valley Sports, no matter, there were surprises and there were talking points, even though a lot of them were negative this year. These teams are still close to our heart, so we're going to continue to talk about them, but we're going to branch out in the future, and I don't know, we're going to talk about it. Maybe some IRL stuff. I'm not trying to stream like I show speed or anything like that, but I had a lot of fun with our draft video and doing things like that.
Yeah. The 999 challenge stream was a lot of fun. We're gonna do that again next year.
I really hope
it's gonna be a yearly thing. No,
that's a yearly thing.
Is a yearly thing now.
Oh, that was brutal.
Because I failed. Now I have to. I'm seeking redemption.
Only me and Mike did it, right?
Yeah.
Nico bowed out too.
Mike ate a fucking 10th one.
I did 10-10
for no reason.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I'm going for 11. I'm going for 11 this year.
That's the thing. Oh god.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
We'll let you know. That'll probably be what, March, April, something. No, April, May probably. I don't remember when we did it last year, but that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
May. We did in May. Yeah.
Either way, 2026, here we come. We appreciate all y'all. Stick with us. We'll have some fun next year, but appreciate you guys.
Yeah, Mike, we appreciate you, man. As Tallman gets his last sips of the cool.
Are the mountains
to 2025? Still? They are actually.
Blue. They still are.
Look.
My mountains are hiding, but
wait, when does this next game start?
There's cheers to you guys.
Are we gonna have time to bet on it before?
Oh, it starts at 6:20.
Oh, so we got 10 minutes.
Yeah,
okay. So we got to wrap this up.
Yeah.
So Tallman,
we gotta go.
Make it quick.
We got money to lose. I mean, make.
I'm not putting any touchdown scores in this one.
Whatever. But yeah, no. Thank you guys for everything. You guys are awesome. I know I might, because we have Christmas. No, I know. Oh. Fuck me. So we have Christmas, and then I'm going to Vegas. I might not see you guys until New
Your
Year's.
birthday.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
It's my birthday.
Yeah,
birthday
it's
boy.
my birthday.
Are we going to the casino again?
That's such an easy choice.
To be determined.
I just expected it.
It is to be determined. It's so.
You want to throw a house party?
Throw a house party, Tallman.
You want to do that?
Yeah, throw a house party.
Birthday party, house party, happy birthday party.
Happy birthday party, New Year's ball drop.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Think about it.
It is your birthday, dude, so you can do whatever you want.
Whatever you want, man.
Just think about how much fun
we can. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Get a keg again.
You want to get a keg? That's
Chat.
crazy.
Tell Tallman what he should do for his birthday.
Yeah, do that.
Chat. Lock in.
Yeah.
Lock
I have a fire pit now too.
He's got a fire pit.
Yeah, I have a fire pit now. Yeah, it's exciting. exciting stuff. But yeah, that's I don't know.
I thought you already had a fire pit.
No, so I have
You have a new fire pit.
I had a wood one.
Oh, you have a gas one?
So I have a gas one now.
I don't like those as much.
What do you mean? What do you want to smell like absolute ass?
Yeah. I'd rather be warm though. The gas ones don't warm you up.
You want to smell like you just smoked 7 cigars.
I have a space heater too.
Oh, so. Space heater.
Or whatever it's called.
So I did. Let's give him a sneak peek for 2026.
Yeah,
what is coming for VSP though? Uh-huh. Tallman has already talked about in the works.
You guys need to stop.
A golf podcast / in-person round kind of content coming next year. I look at how excited he is. Are you kidding me? This is going to be his first baby for VSP.
Did we talk about this?
Ooh. You're the one who texted us about it.
I got it. It's going to be called Heat Strokes with VSP Tallman.
Chat. All right,
stop saying chat. Jesus
sorry. Go for it.
There is no chat.
No, there's always a chat.
There's always a chat.
Always a chat.
Wait, so golf podcast, and what did you say in real life? What?
And then we'll do like Bryson DeChambeau, you play 3 holes.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think anyone wants to see that.
I want to see.
Well, then we'll try and get a hole-in-one over your house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That'll go over well.
I would say get a putting green for your backyard, but your dogs will just
piss all
destroy
over it.
Oh yeah, dude.
Putt through the water hazard is going to be right in the middle.
Yeah.
All right, guys. All right, let's get out of here. Let's go ahead and get out of here. Tallman, I appreciate you. Mike, I appreciate you. Chat, I appreciate you. If you've listened this far in the episode, you are a real one, and you're a true Valley Sports Plug fan, and we appreciate you. Tell all your friends, tell all your foes. Make sure they're liking and subscribing. Right here on YouTube, this is our main driver, but we love audio only as well, and all you listening out there. But let's go ahead and sign off for the last time in 2025. So for Michael Benjamin and VSP Tallman, I'm Chris Patrick, and we will see you next year. Peace.
Peace, bitches.